time to kind of absorb what happened. What's your take on the passing game and just the game in general?
I think on offense, in particularly, it was more of, I guess there was times where we did have everybody on the same page, and that's when we had more successful plays, of course. But then we were in some good plays a lot of times, and whether it be me messing up on an assignment or a read, or a receiver messing up, or O-line messing up, so we just weren't clicking on all cylinders on all units on offense at times, and I think that's oftentimes where was the problem.
With the game coming up against a top 10 team like Wisconsin, is there a way that maybe having a little bit of adversity may be a good thing going into this game?
I think so, being that we did have our struggles in that game, and giving credit where credit's due. Indiana is a good football team, so with that they exposed some things in us. So definitely lets us reflect and be able to try to fix those mistakes that we had.
JT, you said, I think in the bye week, you said one of the things you wanted to work on was sort of ball placement in terms of leading receivers and making sure they can get yards after the catch. Mm-hmm. And then you had a couple on Saturday that just looked maybe a little bit off. I'm just curious, overall this season, how you feel the ball's coming out of your hand and maybe how your accuracy has been all year.
I do like the way the ball's coming on my hand. I feel confident in throwing the ball downfield. There was some shots and miss it, which that happens, and I'm gonna do a better job of preventing that from happening.
And Coach Herman, when he was here, used to rave about your accuracy and said you were one of the most accurate quarterbacks he's ever had. So you still feel like you're that guy? You just missed a couple on Saturday.
Absolutely.
When you talk about those issues, do you see them as a 1 week aberration, or is there anything that has been going on for a couple of weeks that concerns you?
No, I think it was just this week, and that was a good team that we faced, like I said, and I think our game plan was good. We just missed on plays, and it was just everybody as a whole on offense, not just one particular group.
JT, one of the early misses when Curtis got behind the secondary, it looked like you kind of threw it off your back foot a little bit. You might have hesitated a little bit when there wasn't that much pressure.
Right.
What kind of went on that play, and what are some of the things, we're talking about just errors that we need to correct?
Absolutely.
Is that what you were saying? So I just wanted to understand how those errors happen and what might have happened on that play.
On that given play, it was a play action play, and they brought 5 guys, so it was a blitz, and there was no need to play action anymore because the blitz, and I guess got caught too close to the line of scrimmage. So that was why I threw off my back foot, and that was just that example was something that was happening a lot of times throughout the game.
Coach Meyer said that you're maybe a little too much of a security blanket for him. When you hear that, what do you think? And in other words, he relies on you maybe too much at times. And of your 26 carries, how many of those were you decisions, would you say?
I'm not sure exactly how many were just mine. I think in the passing game, obviously we want to throw the ball downfield, but like I said, they did a good job covering our guys, and we didn't do a good job getting open. So with that, everybody has to work better with that, but I do what it takes to win. And if that means I have to run the ball 26 times in order to win by 21 points, and by golly, you best believe I'm going to do that. So, I don't mind if he says that, but he knows that I'm doing whatever it takes to win a game.
What's a Sunday practice like for you?
What sticks out defensively about Wisconsin?
They have good players. I didn't get a chance to, dive into their defense. That's what I do on Mondays after I talk to y'all. But from watching them on Saturdays, just watching the game, I know they rally on the ball. I think they play fast and hard, and they definitely have good players on the defense.
Knowing they've got a player named Watt, who's a brother of a Watt, does that immediately get your attention from the standpoint of wanting to know a little bit more about this guy? JT?
No, not really.
Really? What's a Sunday practice like for you in the offense when you kind of struggle, but you guys, like you said, you won by 3 touchdowns?
I think we just get back to the fundamentals of what we do. I think that's was the main thing, is that the fundamentals lacked in the game, and that that's how we played poorly, because we didn't play with great fundamentals.
Do you see like any change from Coach Meyer or Coach Beck as far as, because you struggled throwing the ball yesterday?
No.
What have you heard about? We check on you to see later on Saturday. You said check later to see if you felt those 26 runs. Do you feel like you ran the ball 26 times on Saturday?
No.
What have you heard about Madison, Camp Randall?
Heard it was loud. Heard it's they got to jump around fourth quarter. That's pretty cool. But I think that's just a great atmosphere for football, college football. That's Big Ten game is going to be prime time. I know they're going to be juiced up.
What's the best route?